to memorize your lies. I feel like I've been hypnotized. And then that magic man, he come to town. Woo-wee, he done spun my head all round. Said recess is in session, 2 and 2 make 5. And now, baby, oh, I'm alive. Oh yeah, I'm alive. And if you wanna be the teacher's man, well, baby, you just better forget it. Rock got no reason, rock got no rhyme. You better get me to school on time. If you wanna be the teacher's pet, well, baby, you just better forget it. Rock out no reason, rock out no rhyme. You better get me to school on time. And if you wanna be the teacher's pet, well, baby, you just better forget it. Rock out no reason, rock out no rhyme. You better get me to school on time. Final exam. Now y'all know who I am. I might not be that perfect son, but y'all be rocking when I'm done.
We're going from the polar opposite of all topo to no topo on our model, so I apologize for that. But hello, my name is Liam, and this is my concept for the new Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity building. I'd like to start by walking you through my very tiny site plan. I'm also very sorry about that. But what I've got going on is, as everyone else has said, all the trees on the site in this area have been kept. I wanted to, with the shape of my building, I wanted to put it in that area to kind of have the trees hug it and create a private area of sorts. I did remove this existing smaller parking lot, and I didn't realize it until I saw other presentations, but I did actually trim the length of this existing parking lot, but we can just keep that as is if we need to for circulation purposes of cars. You know, like coming from this road, maybe they don't want to go all the way down here, you could just drive up here. For students leaving, you can leave through the parking lot that way. But this smaller parking lot did need to go because of this walking path that I put in. The flagstone walking path from parking lot leads to the main entrance. There's also a little bump out that leads to a bike rack because SIU is a very bike-friendly campus. I know a lot of people don't have access to cars, so they bike. So I wanted to give plenty of space for that for students to use. That's about it for that. So I will now go through the floor plan. We have the main entrance right here, which again is off of this pathway right there. There are public restrooms and a janitor's closet right as you walk in. The library is to your left. As you continue to go down, this is the chapter room, and chapter office is connected nearby. And right here is the living space and the kitchen space. And the big goal of my design was to make these spaces communal, because fraternities and sororities are very focused on brotherhood and sisterhood. So I wanted these spaces to be one of many in the building where people could just go to just to interact with one another in any way without feeling like they need to be cooped up in their rooms all the time. So you can kind of see in the render of the living area, but there's no doorway right here. It's just open with some columns and a beam that frame it. And there's also an entrance like that on this side, so you can freely walk from the living space to the dining and kitchen area. The living space has a curtain wall on this side to provide lots of natural light. There are tables, couches, TV, a pool table. I thought just, it's a good space for recreational use for students. And then the dining area, there's a couple tables, table on this wall. I didn't put components into the kitchen, but there's a small kitchenette that can be used by students in the dining area, but the kitchen does have plenty of room for actual commercial equipment that we could use. And then right outside in this area, I included a small barbecue pit with just a secondary doorway for students to use. I'm not sure if it's in any renders, but it's just a small grill and a couple plants by it to lighten it up a little bit. Going back to the floor plan, you continue this way, there are the branching hallways that house all these student dormitories. There are 17 pairs. House mother's unit is right here. I wanted that to be kind of in a central space where students could just easily walk there if they needed that person for any reason. There's also a laundry unit right here and a server room right by it. As we make our way through the wings, I originally had them as just straight, so my building was kind of like cross-shaped, but Rhonda said it was like hospital hallways. It'd be scary to walk down, and they would also be over 100 feet, which is just not ideal. So I curved them, and I found that this created a great opportunity for the courtyard, which I will get to later. But when you go down the hallways, there are 4 of these study spaces, all with curtain walls on them to provide lots of natural light for students there. Because again, I didn't want to just wall it off with a normal brick wall with a window like I was doing for most of the other spaces. I wanted that to be open and inviting and collaborative. And then there are also more laundry units in the little pockets, so that students don't have to just, like Ben was saying, walk all the way down, because I also lived in the towers my freshman year, and I was lucky that I was close by the laundry unit, but it still is, it can be a hassle to carry a big basket of laundry and just have to walk long distance. There are also doors right here at the ends of the wings, so the students can come out and easily access the courtyard, or it's just there to give more exit opportunities so no one is just having to take the long trek back to the single entrance. So moving on to the renders, I would like to talk a lot about the courtyard because this was a big goal with my design. I wanted to create an open, inviting courtyard that stood out from a lot of things on campus. The idea with this is it's kind of a peaceful space that students can go into, relax, study, just enjoy nature, because I love being out in nature and I wanted to bring that with this design. So there's a big pergola that creates kind of a grand entrance with some trees that frame it. I know it's dark and hard to see. but there's 4 little pathways that lead to seating areas. There's seating areas on these sides with more flagstone. There's some benches, and throughout the courtyard there are various shrubs inside planters. In the center of the courtyard there is a spruce tree with this whole thing is kind of dug out, and there's water that surrounds it because I thought that would liven up the courtyard a little bit. I gated it off with these because I wasn't too sure. Part of it was safety reasons, because I don't want anyone falling into the water because it's like 4 feet deep. But I also know that college students can sometimes get a little too crazy. Maybe someone is out there with a beer and they're dumping it in the water. I didn't want anything super bad to happen. So hopefully people would just use the space to enjoy it for what it is and not tamper with it. But yeah, bottom line with that is I wanted it to be a quiet space with plenty of plants, not only so people can enjoy, but also local wildlife. And then I guess, yeah, that's it. There's just the renders as well. There's overall shot of the building. You can see bike rack up at the front. This is a shot of the main entrance with some columns on it as well, just to create more of a classical look. Here's the chapter room with the table in the center, lots of chairs around, and then the study space as mentioned earlier. So yeah, that's all I have. Any questions or comments?
You're not the only one that's put a bike rack in it. That's very popular now here for people on bicycles.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of the dormitories have bike racks on them in some way.
So even though we may get back and forth to the farms, a lot of our members, they've got practice.
I like the way you always curve that courtyard.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I like the courtyard.
Thank you.
Very relaxing.
I'll commend you for the pool table.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, there's one, I think there's one in every one of the dorms on East Campus, just in the main lobby, so I thought it could be
Believe it or not, we
awesome.
actually do more than just sitting there and look at each other.
Yep.
And beer, that's a myth.
Going back to the spruce tree in the courtyard, I like that innovation.
Yeah, I did that with the intent of, there's obviously a variety of deciduous and evergreen trees, but I wanted the evergreen tree to be like a central focus so that there was just something to look at throughout the whole year as, again, like just a, central focal point for the courtyard, instead of just having like a big oak tree that dies in the winter and then it's just barren and empty.
Well, I'll say it fits nicely on that corner lot. And that will become an issue when, I think housing and foundation, whatever they decide, what these buildings, look like exactly. Because the size is gonna come into play, especially on the inner circle.
Right.
Where there's a lot smaller spaces in there. This fits in there very nicely.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.